Hey all, the Wartime Catholic here. It is very late right now. Not quite midnight. I didn't forget that much, but I almost forgot to do my devotional. It very busy day today. I had to work. I had other stuff going on, but I'm here now, and we will get started with Ephesians 2:21. What holds us together? Through him, the whole structure is held together and grows into a temple sacred in the Lord. At the St. Louis Science Center, there is a human-sized replica of the city's famous Gateway Arch. It's made of soft individual building blocks and can only be assembled correctly by a small group of people who build each leg of the arch and then join them together by inserting the keystone at the top. That one piece holds the whole thing together. I've watched people to try to do it alone, and it can't be done. Sometimes it's tempting to struggle alone in our lives of faith, saying our daily prayers, keeping to ourselves, and believing we can do it alone. But we are not meant to be alone. We are meant to be a church, whether we gather in a cathedral or with 2 or 3 friends to pray. And even that's not enough. We always need our keystone, the Christ who holds everything together and gives us meaning, purpose, and form. Hold us together, O Lord. Make us something bigger than ourselves. That is from Steve Givens. What I always find interesting from people who say that they're having troubles with depression in their lives, it always is a common thing, obviously, for people who are dealing with depression to say that they felt alone. And especially with Christianity nowadays, it feels like we are alone. It feels like we are on our own journey. No one can help us. It's kind of like we're trying to get to heaven all on our own, right? There's no one who can help us. But that has never been the case. It wasn't a church father, it was church fathers. We couldn't build the church that we have. The Roman Catholic Church today could not be done with a single church father. Christ probably could have gotten the message out one way or another, but he chose 12 people to help get the word out even faster. Christ, again, probably could have done it alone, but that's him being God. But those 12 people, after Christ had ascended, had to rely on each other. They could not build the church alone. Of course, the church fathers had to rely on each other for themselves. The other churches had to rely on each other to help keep each other in check, because at this point, there was no compiled Bible. I forget which council compiled the Bible, but they had to keep each other in check so it wasn't preaching heresy. That's why you get the church, the message to all these different churches in the Bible of the apostles telling these churches, hey, you're talking about heresy. And I would think that the churches would... I would think that the churches later changed because we have Christianity as it is today. And that just shows that, even the people who we think are smarter than us, are better than us in some ways, they couldn't get to where they were alone. No one can get to anywhere where they are today alone. You are never alone. You have everyone in your church. You have everyone around you that you can count on and that count on you. It is a mutual counting on type thing. So if you are having problems with depression, or if you are having thoughts of this religion is so individualism, like everyone is just kind of here's a Bible and go off on your own, Of course, there are some churches that are like that. I have certainly had my fair share of churches that are completely like that. But then I went to the Catholic church that I'm going to right now, and I'm literally only interacting with the church because like this guy just approached me and said, "Hey, do you want to work with the cameras? Hey, do you want to become an altar server?" Things like that. That is the only reason why I am interacting with the church. Of course, and as I said, there are some churches that will just hand you a Bible and say, "Go on your way." But even then, you have entire communities that are centered around that Bible that you can talk to. You are never alone. Of course, Christ is always with you. Christ is the keystone, as this devotional says. Christ is the keystone, and everyone that you bring along with you into that into your faithful life, that right there is the people who clearly tell you that you're not alone. I hope you all enjoyed this video today. This video was not at all scripted, so that's why I'm saying and spacing out a lot, because I'm thinking. None of my videos are scripted, and I hope to keep it that way, because I want to keep this coming from the heart, which will obviously lead to slower thought processes in the middle of the video, because I don't think about what I'm going to say. I just read the devotional, and I just go off of what the Holy Spirit puts in my heart. I bless you all in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. I hope you all go to church tomorrow. I hope you all have a wonderful July 4th, depending on when you're watching this. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.